let's chat about a couple things. Number one, ADUs. So the name of my company, as you know, is called ADU Pals.
Yes.
We are, experts in that space. Tell me what you know about ADUs, what you want to learn about ADUs, and sort of how they're impacting you thus far.
Yeah, so ADUs are going crazy right now in San Diego, basically because, there's a housing shortage and it's really easy and relatively, what you can build ADU for half, if not less than half the price of per square foot than you would be buying or selling a home, right? So ADU is kind of like a no-brainer for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that don't need to live in their big house anymore, whether they're older and they want to just downsize, and then they can use their house to, pay for their mortgage or whatever it is. Or say, I have a client that's looking to buy a property and build an ADU in the back for their parents. So that way their grandkids can still hang out with their parents, but they're not sharing the same house, and it kind of feels like you're in a separate house and you have your own space, but at the same time, you're still relatively close. So, your grandkids and your parents can hang out, and your children and your parents and everyone can stay in touch. And then you kind of have more of your own space. And it's like really nice and refreshing being in a brand new little ADU rather than, moving across the street or something like that.
And your broker also builds ADUs.
Yes.
Which is very unique.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that you guys are pushing that a lot, like at your firm.
Yes.
Right? Because you sort of have that ability to do that, as well as help someone with transaction with real estate.
Yes.
Also get them set up with ADUs and contracting in general.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What's the name of your firm?
So I'm with the Disher Group by Jeff Disher. And then we have a sister company called FDW, which does the contracting and ADUs.
Jeff Disher. So, yeah. Okay. So we were talking about Jeff. Yeah. Is your guys' office right near Broadway and 6th?
Yeah. We're 6th and Broadway. We're like.
And then you have the downstairs area with the podcast and the upstairs?
Yeah.
Oh, Maxwell Ventura used to work there.
Yeah, Max Ventura.
Yeah, I've been in your office.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
okay,
funny.
Yeah, that connected a dot for me. Okay, yeah, so that's a very unique angle that you guys come to market with. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of agents that work for bigger firms like, let's say, Keller Williams or EXP, and they don't do that. Obviously, their broker is not a general contractor, so that's a very unique angle, and I think it's a huge value add for your customers and put you more on game, so you can essentially know more information, and then you can share that with clients.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. Anything else you want to chat about with ADUs?
I think a lot of ADU projects are going on right now. It's kind of fascinating. You see, and it's kind of spreading throughout San Diego, and then you see the towns like La Jolla, where they're like no SB9, anti SB9. They don't want ADUs. And then there's areas like North Park and stuff where you can't find a street that doesn't have multiple ADUs on it.
Yeah, it is an interesting dichotomy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there are people in La Jolla that want ADUs. They're probably not, the majority, but there are some that do. Yeah, ADUs are amazing. San Diego has the strongest, most aggressive ADU laws.
Yeah.
Non-restrictive and welcoming. We are essentially leading the ADU revolution.
Yeah.
Our company, ADU Pals, along with the city that we live in. But I'm an abundance guy. You're an abundance guy. There's enough out here for all of us to eat. We can only do so much work in a day. We can only grow so fast. And at the end of the day, you got to perform. Mm-hmm. You can get all these contracts, dude. At the end of the day, you got to build this stuff. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, you got to get this stuff through the city.
Yeah.
And the market always weeds out the guys that can't make it, right? And I wish everyone could make it. I hope everyone does. But there's enough out here, dude. Yeah. There's going to be more clients and customers than any one group or any one agent can handle. Period. 100%. Then if you want to scale up and hire someone, a TC or 2 TCs, or become a broker or whatever, hire your own, then you have to manage those people.
Yeah.
Then you have to build systems. So yeah, at the end of the day, it comes down to time. All right, let's talk about lot splits. So I'm assuming this is reference to SB9, SB10?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to chat about that?
Yeah. So I just think, lot splits, they've always kind of been a thing, but now it's more, they're expediting it more, just like with ADUs, right? Where it's making it easier to do lot splits, things like that. You split off your lot and you could build an ADU, and then you could sell it as a single family condo, and then you kind of have your own HOA there. And lot splits are kind of fascinating because you could buy a big lot, do a lot split, and then you can have 2 properties on what was originally 1 property, which gives you a lot more value as the person who owns the property.
Yeah, so traditionally there was just basically entitlements. Mm-hmm. So you get like a tentative map, you get a final map, you do a lot of development work, civil work, etc., site work, in order to get essentially dirt subdivided into different lots. Where now we're talking about infill development, which essentially all that work's already been done. But when they came down and passed SB9 and SB10, And I do want to preface by saying that SB 10 has only been approved, to my knowledge, at this point in one city. That is subjective for every city to be able to approve it. We're hoping that it gets approved in San Diego because, to Grayson's point, it's going to create a tremendous amount of income and opportunity for people who own property to create more wealth and cash flow and basically subdivide their property and build more units with density. Supply and demand.
Exactly.
And then the SB9 might be in trouble because I saw some laws that came down from LA that they're challenging it. But basically what that was is skip the line from traditional entitlements to be able to, as you said, basically subdivide or split your lot in an infill space, and you're doing it much quicker. They essentially simplified it and made it simpler to be able to do that as opposed to the traditional way. But we'll see how that plays out because the courts have that again. But yeah, lot splits are huge. Again, it's an additional way for density. It's an additional way for somebody who owns property to maximize the lot that they have and create cash flow and wealth. And then more inventory, right? Which addresses the affordable housing crisis that we're currently in. Cool, man. Love it. Let's talk about buying and selling real estate.
Yeah.
So you are an agent.
Yes.
You're transacting. Are you representing more buyers or sellers?
Right now it's about 50-50. Probably overall slightly more buyers.
Okay.
Just being newer in the space, usually it's easier to work with buyers as a newer agent rather than sellers.
It is. That's very common. Yeah.
Exactly. But I've had pretty good opportunities. I just sold a condo last week that I met, a guy that I met downtown, just networking. Helped him sell his condo. We closed on it last week. And
nice.
And then
you didn't put me on the dispo list, so thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Just kidding, man. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and then I actually just got a new listing this past weekend. I'm listing it today, tomorrow. So.
And where is this?
Downtown as well, same building, 1080 Park Boulevard.
Condo?
Yes, condo.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Make sure you put out good marketing. You utilizing AI for that?
Yes. I've been using AI for all my marketing material. Not all of it, but I try to use it as frequently as possible.
Love it. So, yeah, generally the rule is when you start out in the game, a lot of agents start out on the buy side.
Of course.
And then as time goes on and you're staying in the game, then those, buyers eventually become sellers and you have a relationship built.
Yeah.
Right?
Things from other people who can sell.
Exactly. And, more stable, so you get higher price points too. People feel like they can trust you. You're going to get them top dollar for their property. You know what you're doing on the sell side. Love it. Okay, let's talk about current market conditions that you see. You're only operating in San Diego, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, tell me about, the market that you're seeing here. And then if you want to talk about, the greater market or the California market or regional or even national, what are your thoughts on the market as we see it?
The market's interesting right now. It really depends on, I think number one thing obviously is how you price the property you're selling, right? So even if you're in La Jolla, you're in North Park, you're in downtown, wherever you're at, if the property is overpriced or it's not listed at a reasonable price, it's going to sit on the market no matter what kind of market it is. But I'm seeing a lot of properties that are staying longer on the market, like right now rather than when I first started.
And what's longer to you?
Varies. I've seen stuff that will sit for 30 days, 45 days, even a little bit longer. Or I've seen a lot of stuff that's falling out of escrow, right? So I think the percentage of stuff that is closing is much lower than when I first started real estate 9-10 months ago. I think a lot more properties are sitting on the market and falling out of escrow just because I think people are just uncertain in terms of politics, international stuff, and then on top of it, rates aren't really changing, but people are just kind of scared of that high rate and waiting for rates to drop.